So today we're talking about the box office here, and again, very good for every movie except for Shazam and Ant-Man. Of course, both of those movies are still failures. Of course, 65, but that movie never stood a chance. Okay, that movie never stood a chance because it came out against the bigger movies. First is John Wick, Chapter 4, which has made $147 million worldwide, which means this movie has overperformed Chapter 3, Chapter 2, and Chapter 1, obviously. We can put a comparison for all of the movies here. Okay. It does it, but if he does it for inflation, even then, John Wick Chapter 4 is still beating John Wick Chapter 3. It's still beating Chapter 2 and Chapter 1 as well. So this movie is already expected to beat John Wick 3 worldwide. It is expected to beat the movie worldwide. Here, making $64 million as well. And it's expected to beat John Wick Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, which means Chapter 4, which had the highest budget of all of the movies, is expected to probably make money at the very end. If it's going to beat Chapter 3, the movie needs to make $250 million. If it's beating Chapter 3, it is supposed to make more money, probably $40 million worldwide plus. So very good news for John Wick and John Wick franchise. I wonder how the spinoff they're making a spinoff film of John Wick as well. I don't know if they include it with the franchise yet, but yeah, they're making a spinoff for John Wick 2. They're making an expanded universe essentially for this franchise as well. So John Wick is at its fourth. Let's see if we get a Chapter 5 after this. Again, Keanu is getting pretty old. He's like almost 60 now. Okay. I don't know if he's still going to want to keep being in these movies because he's getting pretty old as well. But yeah, that is it for John Wick Chapter 4. Next is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This movie is a failure. No surprise here. Apparently this movie is, nobody cares about this movie, essentially. This movie dropped 68%, which is very similar to movies like Black Widow, Spider-Man No Way Home, and other superhero movies. This movie never stood a chance. It's, similar to 65. But the difference between this and 65 is 65 is not a power franchise. It was always not going to do well because it was competing with Scream, it was competing with Creed, it was competing with John Wick, Shazam, and now we have Dungeons and Dragons and Mario still coming out. That movie never stood a chance. But Shazam, it was the big franchise movie and nobody went to go see it. So even franchise movies can still be affected by this as well, by an overcrowding of the box office. Next is Scream, which has made $149 million. This movie has done extremely well at the box office. This movie will probably pass $100 million domestically, which is pretty good for this series. For $44 million, and has made decent money internationally as well. Creed as well. Again, I don't think the international update for both Creed and Shazam. Not for Creed. No, but for both Creed and Scream, not Shazam. Shazam's update is updated. And Ant-Man as well. But yeah, Creed has done extremely well at the box office. The ratings have actually gotten better since the movie has come out. So, word of mouth is definitely making this movie become a box office success. Next is 65, Sony Pictures box office failure. Again, people don't really, it's funny, people compare, they don't want to see original movies, and then no one wants to see this movie. Again, people didn't like this movie that much, so people said it was too generic, it was too, boring, as well. Which means Jurassic Park will still be the only dinosaur movie franchise to have made money, so yeah. Next is Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. This movie has done poorly. It's still continuing to do poorly. The international sales have not come in yet. But Ant-Man is still doing poorly at the box office. No one is going to see it, essentially. Okay, nobody cares about this movie. And this movie definitely dropped when Creed came out. When Creed came out, this movie dropped 60%, 70%. This is not good for this movie. Definitely. So this movie has done abysmally. This is the ratings for Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. A movie that opened to Ant-Man's level will made $261 million as the bare minimum. But Ant-Man has not even made that. Everybody was thinking this movie would make like $700 to $800 million, but this movie can't even pass $500 million. Okay. Cocaine Bear, this movie has made money. I think that finally updated international sales. It was at $80 million, but now it's at $81 million. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, Cocaine Bear has made money. Savior Jesus Revolution has also made money at the box office, making $49 million. That's without any international sales, so that's pretty successful for Lionsgate there. Champions. Don't know about the first movie, but this movie has been doing pretty well ratings-wise as well. It has lost a lot of viewers, but even then it's still doing pretty well. Avatar: Way of Water. Yeah, we're still talking about Avatar. Again, this movie has done worse and worse once Competition really came out. Okay. It's now at number 10. It is not gonna make the 3 billion. And I don't think Avatar 3 will make 3 billion. Okay. Avatar: Way of Water, the opinions on this movie are mixed and split. Okay. A lot of people loved it. Half people loved the movie and half the people hated this movie. Which is not good for this movie. I think it'll probably still do pretty well, Avatar 3. But I don't think it'll make the same amount of money as Avatar 1 and Avatar 2. Avatar: Way of Water did worse than Avatar 1. And Avatar 3 will probably make around $1.9 to $1.8 billion. But probably may not even pass the $2 billion mark as well. Because you still have a lot of the Avatar worshippers out there as well. So yeah. Puss in Boots. Yeah, we're still talking about Puss in Boots here. Puss in Boots has made $430 million worldwide. Again, this movie is still... We're still talking about this movie. Also, everything everyone wants is still on theaters for some reason. Because it won Best Picture. But yeah, this movie has had suffered its worst drop yet. Because more movies are coming out. And people... And this movie's on Blu-ray. This movie's on streaming. Okay? You can stream this movie now. Okay? You can stream Puss in Boots now. Okay? You can watch it on Blu-ray now. You can get it on Blu-ray now. So... The theoretical window is not doing too well now for this movie in terms of rigs. But again, everything has to come to an end eventually. And Puss in Boots has made a huge chunk of money, getting very close to the first movie worldwide. Okay, it's getting close to the first movie. Okay, it won't pass the 554 million, but it's getting close. Not that far off, okay, but it's not gonna beat the first movie worldwide. It's not. It doesn't have the 70 million, 80 to 90 million dollars it needs left worldwide to pass Puss in Boots 1. So yeah, Puss in Boots will last as well. And for some reason, everything ever all at once is in theaters again. It has been in theaters for like the past month now, and yeah, the movie has also passed Morbius domestically. That's what they were celebrating, but it has passed Morbius. Of course, truly, that was the real Best Picture winner. That was Morbius. Truly one of the movies of all time. The Oscars, they decided to, give it this movie. But they gave this movie Best Picture as well. It is a really good movie. So it's, for once the Oscars gave something that people actually liked Best Picture. I thought they would get something like Women Talking Best Picture because it's a woke garbage pile shit that, they're going to promote. But no, they gave this movie Best Picture. But yeah. That is it about this video here. Goodbye.